Hey, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and we are just spawning in here at Bear. Looks like we are one hungry fisherman. First of all, we'll scoop a little algae. So this is Russian Fishing 4. In my last couple of videos, it seems like we've had a lot of new folks come into the channel. Now, a lot of them may be just sort of bouncing right off, but I'm just so curious, like, what has brought new folks to the channel. So anyway, if you are new, welcome. I know in the last video there was a lot of or in a couple of last videos, there's been a lot of questions about what is this game and why don't you go fish in real life and like all kinds of sort of weird stuff that we don't normally see, but hey, it's all good. Okay, so we are, and by the way, if you are new, I do have several leveling guides. I mean, this obviously is Russian Fishing 4. You can get it on Steam. I recommend you at least consider getting it on through their website, but I won't get into all the details there. I have several leveling guides on this very channel. If you want more information, there's a great community, so check it out. Okay, so we're at 5563, and we're going to go with the 21 clip. You are very likely familiar with this spot, but the whole thing of what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to fish for a little while without PVA. So we've got the exact same setup on all three. Large one, cocoa cream white, corn, and this is obviously a pop-up rig. I actually want to look at this for a second. So when cocoa's working, a lot of times you can use the cream white as an alternative. Excuse me. Got lukewarm coffee and I'm sneezing. Just trying to make sure there wasn't anything we wanted to try here. Since we're not feeding, we're not using PVA. At least right now, we're not even using ground bait. Actually, you know, one thing we could try. Oh, that's what you love to see. A tench come in. You know, with this kind of setup, you're going to be catching some small carp, right? So, I guess I just kind of want to try something different here. What if we do... What if we do loop rig? Maybe the thing to compare it with is actually... like potatoes. All right, so if we were going to do that, what kind of... It's reasonable that people would have... So we're not using PVA, but it's reasonable that people would have, you know, can make carp ground bait, right? I think I have this... This stuff typically works pretty good here at Bear. I guess I don't have any just regular carp ground bait. Let's see if I have the ingredients for it. So you can see already, even without PVA, we are getting a nice bite rate on the cocoa corn. But it's going to be smaller fish, right? My hope is that I maybe either later in this video or more likely maybe for the next video. Okay, we do have it. So we'll make one thing a carp mix. We'll just throw some carp mix out there. I thought about putting grass black carp mix out there, but I think I'd rather do regular carp. I do want to try this spot with PVA. We fished here a little bit when we were during my last stream, but we didn't fish very long, so I kind of wanted to come back and try out some things. So the main thing I'm wanting to look at is just how good. I think the bite rate's going to be really good, right? On large one hooks, cocoa corn with the cocoa nectar dip. I'm also going to throw one rod out here on loop. I thought about doing method pop-up and using the corn with that way, but I think I'm going to try this with the natural bait with having potato on there. Potato tends to be good. So some of the doughs tend to be good as well. With the tench being here, that's one thing we could look at is what are the record golden tench coming out on? All cocoa, which if I'd switch to PVA, this is probably what I would switch to. Try to help the bite rate with the PVA, but try to help the size of the fish with actually putting boilies with the corn. But what about normal tench? Any of it bare? No. We do have night crawlers. Okay. So we'll see. Let's see how long it takes to even get a bite on the potatoes. If it's super slow, then that kind of goes against the whole point of this spot, even without PVA, to be able to hit a pretty nice bite rate. Weather-wise, it's pretty standard day at Bear. It is raining, though. I really want to get try to get a Fisher Online video made today too. I've been so limited in time this week, so we'll just have to see how it goes. All right, I think we're good on algae for a while. I had switched to scooping instead of using the shovel. I had been fishing with algae a good bit and wanted to kind of replenish the supply, which you get algae a high percentage of times when you scoop, you get algae, which is nice. So thankfully it's not too hard. If just, a couple of play sessions, you focus on scooping, it's not too hard to replenish the algae. But algae can be really good sometimes. Obviously the silvers, some carp species will go for algae, but also the smaller, the blue bream and that kind of stuff will sometimes be really good on algae. So if you can build up a selection of it, it's worth it. All right, we're sitting here at 2 fish. I'm just going to watch the time. We just want to see how long does it take. We're getting bites without PVA on the single corn. This is a little more decent fish. This is at least a marker. Or not a juvenile, I don't think. But, yeah, right at 3 kilos, 3.9 kilos. But, we want to see how much is that potato rod slowing us down. And there might be other things we could try. We could try corn or honey dough or egg dough. I don't know. We could try different stuff, but, look at this bite rate on the... we hardly got the cocoa back in there. I just can't tell you, to me, this is the ideal situation if you are trying to get into carp fishing. It's so, you have a nice bite rate. For the most part, you're going to catch fish that even if you only have, certainly if you have the caliber HSV setup, but even if you have a Saber 60 or something, most of these carp you could get in easily. All right, so there's our first fish on potato. Let's see how long till the next fish. So, I mean, when these kind of spots are active like this on corn, to me, it's just ideal. Look at these black carp on Old Berg. These are patient people, though. That bite rate isn't terrific. I kind of want to try it, but it'd be more one of those where I would make a video with the results, maybe the end of the time fishing. I don't think I'm going to sit there making a video fishing for those black carp at Old Berg because it is just so slow. Can be at times, especially during the middle of the day. It's just like nothing. Yeah, this seems really good. So far, so good. This is kind of what I imagined this spot being like right now. Another decent little common. Right around 4 kilo. And again, the bite rate on the corn is just fantastic. Maybe not ideal size carp, but an incredibly good bite rate. Such a short cast. 21 meters. We're really just casting like anywhere from there. I mean, I would say sometimes I like to aim more like this, kind of at the 5 up there. But you're not making it, you know, it's not like you're getting it into that deep area. You're certainly in this, I think in this first step, because you're only casting 21 meters. I have also seen folks fish from over here because technically, you know, a lot of times you're actually casting, if not over those reeds, like right into them. So you can also do sort of like a 21 meter clip this way. And I think pretty much fish the same spot, but we've often, you know, as a community, this is the spot we talk about. So this is usually the one that I kind of go to by default. So let's see. All right, so obviously the potatoes are pretty slow. I actually think that, I mean, you never know till you try it. But I think that the I could just feel that one coming on. I think it's the pollen. Like, pollen's really high where I live right now. I've noticed last couple days, but anyway. I think that so the downside here is you're using method. Sometimes it does kind of mess with the bite rate for some reason on method, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna throw method in there. We've got that same ground bait on there with the carp recipe ground bait, and now we're using the cocoa corn. So let's see if we can get some nibbles on method pop-up. I mean, I think any time, as long as it doesn't, for whatever reason, mess with the bite rate, anytime you can feed the water with something, right? This little method feeder, I need to get a heavier one. I think they do have heavier ones. It's only 30 grams. That's why it cast so short. But anytime you can feed the water, if it's still, working, then that's probably a good thing. But I just don't know if method will be able to hang in there with just regular pop-up. Maybe it will. Let's hope, because that'd be a fun alternative for you to use if you don't have PVA. Because then you can just put whatever ground bait you have got. If you can do carp ground bait, if not, just kind of do the best you can with it. But at least you're able to feed the water. Could help. It's a nice common. And of course, we could switch this ground bait to like a black carp, grass carp kind of mix, and try to focus on those a little bit more. Heck, you could even do like a tench. A tench ground bait. If you want to lean into the tench a little bit. Carp are still going to go for it. This is a decent fish. So this is the best fish we've had so far. This might be a, 7-8 kilo fish? I don't know. Something like that. We'll see what kind it is. Oh, it's a common. Maybe 9? $12. Awesome. That would be fun on a Saber 60. Doable though. And then of course if you have caliber HSVs, you're killing it. That was a weird fake nibble. Another nice fish. So just kind of notice the time of day, and you'll see this across the board. With carp fishing and a lot of species, honestly, but especially in a situation like this where we're not using PVA, most of the middle of the day we're getting a ton of those really small carp, right? But in the late afternoon, evening, and in the morning, we have a better chance of getting some decent ones popping in. Ooh, I like that. Hey, if we're going to catch something that's 1 kilo, I'd rather it be a gibble than a little tiny juvenile common, right? We'll have a chance of trophying that gibble. Let's see. Somebody in chat just asked how old. By the way, if you're looking for a community, we do have a chat in game. If you, let's see, am I going to be covering this up? I guess I am. If you search for, yeah, I'm going to have to do something. If you Search for my dogs. You are welcome to join us. 530 players currently. Pretty good little community. You know? It's pretty nice. Somebody's asking in chat how old I am. Let's see. Pretty sure I know the answer to that. I always question myself. You get to a certain age, and it can become tough to remember. Like, okay, am I still this age, or am I not remembering this past year? I think I'm right on that. Wait, if that's the case, hold on. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So, how have we done here? 18 minutes, 17 fish. I think we've kept all of them, right? We haven't turned any into fishtails or anything. So this is pretty accurate on how we've done with no PVA. The only caveat is on the third line. We are using pop-up method with carp ground bait. If it was me and I didn't have PVA and I wanted to fish for carp, I think I would do this. I think I would. I think, you know, again, when you're fishing for carp, anytime you can feed the water, I think it's worthwhile. So if you have method unlocked, which I don't remember how far down the line is method. Oh, it's way down here. So you probably don't have it unlocked. So never mind. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you have method unlocked, you're getting close to PVA. Just go buy the right rod and you can get a bonus to let you do PVA, so never mind. Forget I even said it. Forget method. So that goes back to, you know, if you don't want to just use the corn, which, by the way, the corn is great. I'm not trying to talk you out of using the corn. I just always like to have options. If you wanted to mix it up a little bit, I would probably start with like honey dough, corn. I would try potatoes some more, maybe cheese because the tench, and then just some of these other doughs, and just see if you find one that's got a decent bite rate. But no problem using the corn. The corn is awesome. I mean, it's great bite rate. It's, you know, again, in the morning and the evening, we're catching decent sized fish. The rest of the time, at least you're leveling up your bottom fishing. These fish are still worth a reasonable amount. They still add up. When it's this kind of bite rate, even 3 kilo carp, you know, still add up. So I like these gibbles that are coming in. I mean, it's a little bit of a waste in terms of, I mean, they're not worth much, but it's just kind of fun, and you get the feeling that, like, hey, if you're catching some gibbles like that, you got a reasonable chance you might hit a trophy with those large one hooks. Dr. Rack, welcome to RF4. Oh, looks like you're enjoying the spin fishing. I like that. Look at those chub. Wait, is that a trophy chub 4.3? I can't remember. Yes. Trophied the chub at Belaya. Good job, Dr. Rack. And welcome to RF4. Thanks for the support. All right, so it's a little after midnight. I mean, I think we should probably... Well, let's go... Where are we right now? Let's see what 22 minutes of fish has done for us. We'll come back, hopefully catch a couple more. Although it's getting late. I mean, overnight's going to be a little slower. All right, 110 silver. So again, if you are new to bear, new to carp fishing, you don't have PVA, you don't have method, obviously. You're still making silver. You know, this is reasonable. This is 22 minutes, and we probably would have made more if we had all 3 rods set up the same way the whole time. But I wanted to experiment a little bit on this 3rd rod. So that's a nice mirror. So it's been what? Commons, Gibbles, mirror, and then that 1 tench. Now, first thing in the morning, we'll very likely, I would say, I mean, we have a good chance of catching another tench, maybe even a golden tench on these baits. But the tench are going to be streaky, kind of when they come in. By the way, this is another good opportunity. If you like me, enjoy the part of the game which is pretending like feeding your fishermen actually matters more than it does. Which I've never enjoyed. Even if it is tactically the wise thing to do or the smart thing to do, I've never enjoyed starving my fishermen, waiting for the big fish, and then, you know, having room in your stomach to pop a million alcohols, or make sure you have room in your stomach to pop the coffees and stuff, or whatever. I don't know. I just never have enjoyed that. But all I'm saying is, when you are catching this amount of carp, especially that are like right at that 3 kilo range, it's a good opportunity to fix, let's see, what am I trying to do here? To fix some fried carp. So like we're down to 6 portions. We could go cook some. Camp is pretty close to here. So it's kind of a good spot to make some more fried carp if you enjoy cooking. All right, I think we'll wrap it up for now on this one. Again, I'm playing with the idea of doing some testing at Old Berg, or maybe trying this spot again with slightly bigger baits and PVA. I'm not sure. We'll see. But anyway, no PVA, 5563, 21 clip. I don't know. I mean, we have fished. We fished for 30 minutes, right? Not even 30 minutes. The other half of the day has a chance of catching better fish than what I've shown you here. So we were over 100 silver in 22 minutes. I mean, it's certainly, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that you could hit 250 without being super lucky. I mean, you know, hit 250 silver in an hour here without PVA seems very possible to me. If you've tried this spot without PVA, and if that's not the results you're finding, let us know in the chat. But that seems reasonable based on the little bit of time I've spent here. So as always, hey, thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Tight lines.